You feeling good, Paramala?
Hello.
You're doing good?
Yeah. I'm feeling good today, Srini.
Awesome. Sai, how is our friend doing? I know her in a long time, but now even you move to next level. How is doing?
To me, I'm doing fine, Srini.
Excellent. Ranga, Shanmuga, Vikas, you guys are good friends.
Hi, Srini.
Are you following? Are you
Yes.
liking these topics?
Yes, it's very good.
Tell me if you don't like, I'll give you feedback.
No, it's very good, Srini. Yesterday class was
Awesome.
super.
Excellent. Please focus. This is what the companies want. This is what the companies are doing. This is where the jobs are. And this puts a foundation for you, a machine learning and AI career. So first few years on full data engineering, then next is ML and AI. That's the direction to go. Subbu, Venkat is there. Murali from Phoenix.
Yeah, hi, Srini.
Murali,
Good morning.
are you catching up?
Yes, Srini, yeah.
You're catching. I know you might have a lot of questions related to syntax and all. There are a lot of help available. Will guide you, but let's focus on the core pillars.
Yes, Srini. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Harun, how the team is?
Yeah, team is good, Srini.
They are interacting with you well.
Yeah, they're asking questions, all good questions. So team is all excited, looking forward. Yeah.
Absolutely. Guide them, push them. It's all good. Let's make them stars.
Yep.
That's why we are building this company, Star Bricks. You know, this is for them. We need to make them data and AI stars. And you are my first star. Okay. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Carry on. Okay.
Yep. Thank you, Srini.
Awesome.
Okay. So, welcome back. So let me check with few other folks if they're joining. Any communication, if they are joining. Let me check. Give me 1 minute. Okay. So, I think we are almost 7 minutes past. So I think everybody is here. Let's see if anybody joins. So meanwhile, we will check what we are doing yesterday, right? So today, what I will do was yesterday I was doing all by myself, setting up things and running the job. So today I would like you to participate and share and show me what so how we are doing with respect to creating the notebook and starting with the ETL process. So first, how many of you were able to run or set up and run a notebook yesterday, what we have discussed?
I tried. Did you share this one, Arun? And I'm sorry, the notebook.
Yes, it was there.
Because when I opened it,
right?
the Python.
Everybody got the document, right?
Yes, Arun. Yeah.
Okay. So it is there in the same document, Kiran. Let me share my screen and show you that. Okay, so this is the running document. We update for each session, for each batch. So you have all the sessions, the video recordings and the notebook. So this is the yesterday recording and the yesterday's notebook.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so you have this link, right? The document link, it's there in the Starbricks group chat. Or I'll just put it here. You can copy in the chat.
Yeah, I've got that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. So anybody who's worked yesterday? Shanmuga?
Yeah, worked it,
Okay,
Arun.
great.
Yeah, it's working.
Nice. Murali?
Yes, Arun. Yeah, I worked for that and everything is looking good. Only thing is, yeah, yesterday you said the delta Y will give and the format, right?
Mhm.
So you said we will discuss that one today.
Yeah. We'll get there. So when you look at that, where is yeah. So you have that slide that we talked about all the modules, right? So one of those modules is Databricks Delta features. So when we get there, we will definitely talk about you know, all the features, including what is Delta, what is the Delta format, how does Databricks Delta support the ACID transactions, why is it important, what are the advantages or features that you get using the Delta over the standard Parquet format, just the Parquet file. So all of that we will discuss. Several features like time travel, the Delta sharing, the Unity catalog, um, uh, you know, um, so all of that using Delta, the Z ordering, the or vacuum. So there are several features that we want to talk about, but we will get there. So first we'll get the basics of the batch processing, right? So then we will get there. Okay. Ranjit, hey, we have Sai Sricharan here. Sricharan. Hello. So Vikas and Ranjit, were you able to do this yesterday? You guys are on mute. Vikas? No, I can't hear Vikas. Sricharan? Am I audible? Guys, I'm not able to hear anyone.
You're
Yeah, we
audible,
are.
Arun.
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah.
Okay. So guys, please speak up if you guys are here. So unmute, talk. That would help me understand whether you guys are following me or not. Okay. Subbu, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. But yesterday, that one I didn't have practice. I have other practices.
Okay, that's fine. At least, I mean, you already know how to set up the
Yeah.
notebook, import and do that, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So let's continue.
Arun, quick question.
Yeah.
You shared the link for that notebook.
Mhm.
Do we need to just copy and paste that link in the URL, or is there any other way to get to it?
No, you just need to see. You can just click it. It'll open as a HTML page. Or if you want the entire notebook, yesterday as I've shown, you have to import it in your Databricks.
Can you please show that import part one more time?
Yeah, sure. Just give me 1 second. Let me open that. Where is it? Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to create a compute. Okay, while that is getting created, so what we said here is go to folder,
Okay.
just say create notebook,
Yeah, I have that one.
go to file, import, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Import, select URL, and then paste
Okay.
that URL.
Yeah, I forgot this part. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
So this is, I think, document URL. If you go here, and then click on import. And that's it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what did we discuss yesterday? Anybody who wants to summarize?
Yesterday, what we did was like, we read from the data frame and also, sorry, we read from a CSV file
Mm-hmm.
and we have written it to the data frame and then we have created the database. Then we have created tables and put those from data frame to table. And again, what we did was we queried from the table and also we copied the table data into data frame and we started selecting from both. I mean, from the SQL using SQL as well as the the data frame methods.
Awesome. Yep. Okay. So and then we also talked about schema, right? So how
Yeah.
about the data frame or uh, the Spark job that can automatically infer schema, or you can explicitly provide the schema to read the files, right? Okay, so I have this. Yesterday we did the extract and load. We kind of didn't touch the transform yesterday. So we will be talking about the transformations today. Okay. So when we talk about Spark transformations, let me just search for here. So if we go here, data sets and data frames, you can check the documentation in the, where is this? So it's the Spark SQL. If you want to see what are all available within the Spark SQL API data frame, so you can see what are the attribute, constructor, conversion, index, iteration, just like any other programs if you want to see. But I'm looking for the documentation. Let me check. Where do we have here? Oops. So if you go here for the documentation, right? So you can see how you can write the code with Python, with the CSV files. The same code, if you want to see how you can write in Scala or how you can write in Java, and all of this supported, but let's stick to Python. You can see all of this. Okay. And then we are talking about the options. Remember yesterday when you did spark.csv.read, what are the properties that you can provide? Separator, what is the quote, escape character, comment, header, true or false. For reading, uses the first line as names of columns. For writing, writes the name of the columns as the first line. In case you want to write it as CSV or write it as Parquet, so you can still write it as a file, or you can write to table as well. So infer schema, or does, right? Enforce schema, whether you want to enforce the schema with various options. What each of these options are available during read, write, or only during read. So all of this you can explore. And once when you read from the file, what are all the options that are available and what it does. Okay.
Harun, can you ping that link in the chat?
Yeah. Um, yeah. So this is, I will put it in the Zoom chat. Okay. Now we talked about the other, we talked about CSV files, right? So there are a lot of other file data sources here that you can do. This is the Parquet files. That is the standard structure that even the Delta or Spark stores on the storage. So when it stores the data, even if it is stable, the underlying files are always stored in the Parquet format. Okay. So you can talk about, so how does the, so Parquet format is actually the machine readable format. So you cannot read the Parquet file, but still they can see the metadata. Okay. So these are options when you want to write for work with the Parquet file or ORC files, JSON files, text files. So when you go to JSON file, how would you write? How would you read? Basically, read.json, just like we did the CSV. The same thing, you would use JSON. And you see, yesterday we have seen in the file how a JSON file looks like. So you can just create a string like this, or you can also create a string and then work it like a file here. We will also include processing JSON files separately. So I'm just giving you, if you want to do more reading and understand, browse through it, but don't get too much deeper into it, because you will not use everything in there. You don't have to know everything what is there in here. Okay. At a very high level, as I shown you yesterday, if you understand the concepts, you just have to know, yes, we can read all of these kind of files, or write these files. How you do it, syntax, yes, you will get a lot of help online, the syntax, if you how you want to write. Okay. So you also have SQL reference, UDFs and other SQL. When we get there, we can also talk about Spark SQL, how you access all of this using Spark SQL. But for now, just understand. So similarly, you will also have data frame. If you go back here, this is data sources. So this is data frame. There are several ways of accessing data from the data frame columns. So you can do dot notation, the data frame dot the column names. You can use the key notation, like within square brackets, you can give the column name. Okay. And you can also do df dot, select kind of this kind of syntax also you can do. And then you can also do multiple transformations here. This is what we are talking about that we will start. Yesterday we talked about the SQL table. We are writing to table, right? So we will see how we can actually do a create a temporary view within the within our notebooks as if in the memory, right? So if you want to access something in the memory, you can also create views within the notebook using the SQL. Okay, to just registering the temporary view. Okay, so let's get back to what we were doing here. And we will take a step back. Let's see if the compute is done. 0804. Okay, this is connected. Now we'll just go and check. Let's run this and see. So whenever we have the cluster, it's deleting the table structures. So we have to go and redo this, but that's fine. This is only because you are using the community edition. Okay. So let's get back to the notebook. So file would still be there. Let's check the file, whatever we have uploaded yesterday. Yeah, so file is still there, right? And then, so we can run this. We get movies data frame. Okay, so now my movies data frame is in the memory. So I can use this movies data frame anywhere in the notebook, right? So what I'm doing, I'll just go here to the end, take movies data frame dot register temp table. Okay, and say movies temp. So this is deprecated. So right now, let's say we want to use create or replace temp view. It was long back we had that temp table, but it's a create or replace temp view. So this is a temporary view. Now, just like table, I can do here. Okay, so this is a temporary view. It's just kind of a table that I can read data from, but this is not stored to the database. This is just in the memory. Okay, so why you want to put in the memory is if you want to do, as I said, a lot of transformations, want to write complex logic before you write to the database, you can just register it as a view and then work on it with SQL rather than PySpark. So it's up to you if you're more comfortable writing Spark SQL, you can do that. You can write the same transformations also with PySpark. Both are same. So in the end, when it executes, it will anyways convert to the Spark SQL when you do a data frame. So data frame is nothing but, as we said, it's a tabular representation of the data only, right? So this is how we do it. Now, what we do today, so we'll take one more file and then do some transformations and join these two tables, do a transformations and write to the database. So that's what we will try today. Are we good? Anybody, somebody who wants to share their screen and then do the second file today?
I can do it, Arun.
Okay. Who's that? Sorry.
Kiran.
Kiran. Okay, Kiran. Can you share your screen and then from the yesterday's Kaggle data set, right? So you have movies and then you also have another file, I think ratings, right?
Could you please give me the host access, host disable screen share?
Oh, screen sharing is not. Oh, just 1 second. Let me. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
1 second.
So there is a ratings.csv in the file, right? So just did you create? Sorry, did you start the compute? Kiran, you are on mute. Kiran, you are on mute.
Yeah, I did start the compute.
Okay, great, sure.
I just imported yesterday's notebook.
Awesome.
What do you think?
So yeah, import the new file basically. No, not here. So
Mhm.
you have the CSV file, right? So yesterday you downloaded the CSV.
Okay.
file.
1 second. How do I bring? Okay. Okay. Mhm.
There's a Kaggle link, right? So you can just use that one and download.
Yeah, I'm just taking it.
Yeah, you can just click over that. You just click it. It just gets opened.
Okay.
Yeah, write down.
Just yeah, download the
Not download everything at a time on the top of the
data
page.
set.
Yes, yeah. That one.
On the top, there is like download 104 MB
140
something.
MB.
Yeah. I just
Yeah,
did that. Yeah.
140.
It's getting downloaded.
So shall I get this file into the Databricks, Arun? This movies.csv?
Yeah, movies is already done, right? Yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do the ratings.
Ratings one. Okay. Cool.
Now you need to go to the new and after the table. Yeah, give the slash Starbucks here, Starbucks 2 or whatever.
No,
The
Starbucks will
optional.
not be there in mine because Starbucks
No,
is there in this.
cancel that.
No, it creates.
Yeah, there. Just type any name.
Okay. Let's go with Starbucks only.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, and then click on that and select the file.
Ratings one.
Yes. Oh, it's a huge file, is it? Half GB.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So everybody is getting this. And anybody has any questions, challenges? So this is very, very basic, guys. This is the foundation. Not just uploading the files. I'm talking about, reading a file, convert into a data frame, and then writing and doing transformation. This is the basic foundation thing for the data engineering. See, the sources can be very, very, diverse. Can be CSV files. You can read from Unix, directory path. You can read from AWS. You can read from ADLS, right? Or you're reading from external databases, right? Streaming sources, or you may also have connectors reading from other applications like Salesforce or some other systems that you're reading from. But as I said, the idea, the concept remains same. The sources can be different, but once you have read and created a data frame, it's all the same. It doesn't matter from which source you are reading. Only the source will dictate how you read. What are the parameters or the configurations and permissions that you need to read the source. But once you read it into a data frame, it's all kind of same thing. Okay. Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great. Now, so it's taking time. So let me, so Kiran, while you are doing that, let me start show a couple of things, and then we will come back when you're ready. Is that good? Is that okay?
Yeah, Harun, please.
Okay. All right. Let me share my screen. Okay. So we were talking about the transformations, right? So I have movies DF here. So remember yesterday we wrote some SQL here, and then we were trying to do this thing. So this is actually a query that you wrote with the where clause, right? So the same where clause you put as a transformation in the data frame. So I would say filter df equal to movies underscore df dot filter. Filter is a transformation, and then you give condition. So condition is, what is the condition? Movie ID. I just want to say movie ID greater than 100, right?
Yeah.
So how do I access movie ID? We just seen how do I access a column? So there are different ways of accessing the column. So I use data frame of column name, right? And greater than 100. So this is my data frame. So you can say filter df.show or display filter data frame. So this is the filtered data frame. See, now you have movies starting from 101. We have filtered this. Now what happens to filter df? Anybody? So sorry, not filter df. So this is the filter df. We have filtered out the values.
Movie ID greater than 100.
True, greater than 100. So what about movies data frame?
It remains the same. It
It
doesn't
remains the same.
change.
It doesn't get.
Exactly. Awesome. So you guys have done a lot of study, I believe. Okay. So movies DF, anything, see, the basic of a data frame. So data frame actually comes from something called RDD. Initially, when Apache Spark started about a decade ago, so they started with the concept of something called RDD, which is a resilient distributed data set. Okay. So when we go to Spark internals, we will talk about how distributed computing. So under the hood, all of this is distributed computing, right? We are creating a cluster and the processing happening on the cluster parallelly. But so that is the distributed data set. The resilient means it can reconstruct based on the operations that you have done on the data set. Which is your data frame. So you can chain all the commands, transformations. So it will create a DAG, directional acyclic graph, to generate the data set, data frame. But we'll come to that. Any RDD is immutable, which means you cannot change the RDD or a data frame. You can only transform it into a new data frame. So whatever transformations you do, it will result in a new data frame, okay, with the new data. The old data frame still remains same unless you just use the same variable to copy it onto the new data frame. So now I have two data frames here. One is a filter DF, one is the movies data frame. Okay, so if I just say display movies data frame, so I will still have both the data frames here. So this is my filter data frame and this is my movies data frame. So see, here I still have all 1 to 100. Everything, not just 1 to 100. The original data frame is still there, right? So that is, you have to understand the concept of immutable. So once created, you cannot change anything in the data frame. You can only create a new data frame with whatever changes you want to do on the data frame. Now, let's say I want to only select a subset of the columns. Okay. Now, I can do a list of columns here. Basically, the first column is I want movie ID. Okay. Comma. The second column I want, which column you want to take? Title, just the title. I don't want the genres. Okay. So let's run this.
The title needs to have that string.
Yes. Okay. See, now this data frame does not have genres. Now try envisioning it in terms of SQL. Okay, so everything you do transformations is always something you can do using SQL as well, Spark SQL. So how does this convert into Spark SQL? Can somebody tell me this entire thing?
So
Not Spark,
select
SQL. Okay.
select movie ID, comma title from table name where movie ID greater than 100.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this kind of translates into, so let's, so I want to do a SQL. So remember, we already registered this as a temporary view here, movies temp, right? Or here itself, we can do, okay, let's see. So instead of movies, instead of star, so what I am doing, I'm only selecting two columns, movie ID and title, right? So I say movie ID, title from movies temp, where movie ID greater than 100. Oh, there's no underscore here. Right? So this and this are exactly same. Okay. So you can choose to do either of this. The underlying processing would remain same. There's no difference if you run this or if you run this in terms of performance or the speed or scaling or whatever, both are same. It's just how you write. Okay. Any questions on this? Shanmuga, Murali, any questions?
No, Harun. No, Harun. I'm good.
Okay.
No, Arun. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Kiran, you're ready? You want to add the file?
Yeah, sure. I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and share. Let me stop sharing. Okay, you can just copy from the previous one where we have done the movies CSV and then just change the path and file name and then run it. Just copy everything and then change the file name. Or you changed the path from Starbricks 2 to Starbricks, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, you have the file. Then you can do the read.
I have to take it into a data frame, right?
Yeah. header is true, then so you guys know why we are using that backslash?
Just to get it to the second line, right?
Yeah, so it will treat everything as one line. Otherwise, the syntax issues, with Python. So instead of writing everything in one line, we just use the backslash to break it and write in another line. But we are asking the system to all consider it all in one line.
Harun, if you define the variables for the two things, how it will work? Can we do that one or?
Can you come again? What variables?
So, for example, the first one we use as the movies underscore df, right? The
Mhm.
same movies underscore df if you use here. So
Mhm.
what happens?
So it's just like a variable, right? So let's say you have declared x is equal to 10. Okay, then you said x is equal to 20. What happens? The current value is stored in the x. The old value is garbage collection. It'll leave. So no, it's not x is not pointing to 10 anymore, which means that next time when the garbage collection runs, it will see this value is not being used. It will clean up because x is now pointing to 20.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just like same thing. The old data frame, whatever data you have, and then the new data, you're pointing the same variable to the new data frame. So when next time when it checks, it will see the old data is not being referenced anywhere. So it will just remove all the data, and your
Okay.
variable is now pointing to the new data.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So what happened? Missing two required positional arguments, key and value.
Totally.
You just put a read dot format at the on the top. I think so.
I
Yeah.
think that was the last this one error, I guess. I mean, the one which executed in the.
Okay.
Done, Arun.
Okay. Yeah. So you got user ID, movie ID, rating, and timestamp, right? Okay. Good. So so each movie ID. So okay. Thank you. And that's what. So you can just create, write it to a table.
Yeah. Hmm. Save as table, right?
No, so you can
I thought
use,
it's like a save as table or something, right? Is
yeah,
it?
you have to use the data frame dot write,
TF underscore 18.
yeah, dot write, yeah.
Oh,
Now here, you have to give the options dot write dot mode.
okay, write overwriter
No, no,
or
dot
append.
mode. You
Dot
have to
mode.
use dot mode.
Write dot more.
Mode.
Write dot mode.
So override dot format first you have to give dot write dot format delta
Ri-
dot mode override.
Dot
Right,
mode.
format first. Dot write, sorry, dot write
Okay.
dot format, yeah, in the quotes delta, and then dot mode override dot save as table and the table name. No. So have you declared that TF ratings table?
Which one?
Yeah, what is the value of that? You have to
You mean
give,
to say
you
I
have to
just gave it?
you have to give that as a string, right? The table name.
Hmm.
Yeah.
For first time importing the onto the table, there is no data on the branch. So is you use the mode override command.
It doesn't matter first time, second time. If you just use overwrite, even if the table is not there, it will create the table and write the data. And then next time you run, it will just truncate, delete the data and write it. Okay. If you
Because yesterday in yesterday's class, you explained merge, append, override these concepts. So uh, I thought that first time no need to write override command.
what will you write first time?
Without a mode, can we save the data in the table?
Yeah, you can try that. There is always some kind of default values that we'll use.
Okay.
So you have to check what is the default mode. Is it overwrite or is it append? So you can just use the same data frame, write it to a different table and see without mode, if you write what happens.
Yeah, shall I execute this, Arun?
Yeah, go ahead. So it will still write. Okay. The point is what mode it is using. So you are not sure right now. So you have to check the documentation. What is the default mode? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. If default is append, then every time you run, it gets appended. If default is overwrite, every time you run, it's overwrite. So, but always you should not leave it to default, whatever is important, because see, tomorrow if some other developer is opening your code and some other data engineer is opening your code, he should not be in the dark, right? So if you write specifically overwrite, he knows, okay, you're overwriting the table. It helps in readability and also debugging. If somebody sees, okay, the data is not correct, it goes back and see how you're writing the data. So it should be very clear what you are trying to do with the data, how you are writing it. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think yeah, so that is good. Let us continue with our transformations. Okay, so you can see the data, right, in the first one and second one. So this is good. So let us continue with the transformations right now. So what transformation did we use till now?
Filter.
Yeah, so we used filter. Okay. Now we can also use where class also we have used, right? Yeah, within the filter, yes, using filter. Even if we don't use, so in the filter is actually a where class, but you can also do the where method also. So that is just another syntax. And then we have used select for selecting the specific column names, right? And then how you're going to add multiple you can also add multiple conditions. In the where class you use and, right? The same thing you can also use here as and. Okay, so let me share my screen, go back and do more transformations. So you're good, Kiran? You're on mute, Kiran.
Yeah, Arun, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome. So next time I want other team to share and do this. So only if you can do hands-on, you'll get more confidence. Okay, please be ready when I ask you to share the screen to share and do what we are doing. Okay. Right. So go back and see how we are doing the. So I also want to do. Where is this? Oh, I don't have ratings here. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Okay. So I'm also trying to do the same. So ratings here now. I will just use this to write create ratings here. So what is my file location? Is this? I'll just use here ratings df. Okay, so we have all these ratings. Now I have movies data frame and I have ratings, right? So now we'll try to join these two tables. So that is one of our transformation. So in the transformations, what have you seen till now? We have done filter. We have done select. Okay. Now we are doing join. So you know how to join two tables, right? In SQL? Okay.
Yeah.
So now, first let's do this. I have ratings df. Create or replace temp view. So I will say ratings. What happened? So I will do %SQL here. Now I have two views or two tables, right? Ratings table. What is the other one we registered?
Movies.
Is underscore df.
Go here. Movies temp.
Movies temp, yeah.
Right? So movies temp. And then I will also just to make sure I'll just put ratings underscore temp. Movies temp. Join ratings temp on movies temp dot movie ID, right? Movie
Yeah.
ID equal to ratings underscore temp dot movie ID. There's no movie ID here.
Yeah. Movie ID, I think. Uh, not sure.
I always try to put the underscore everywhere. Okay, so these two tables are joined now. So see, we get all the columns from both the tables. So how do we do this transformation using the data frame? Okay, so I take a new, joined data frame equal to movies underscore df dot join. So what is the other data frame?
Ratings underscore.
Ratings
Yeah.
underscore df. And then I have to give the join column. So what is the join column? I'll just
Movie ID.
movie ID. display join df. Let's see if this works. Okay, simple. So you don't have to write all of that. You just take the first data frame, join, and then what are the parameters you give? The second data frame that you want to join, and what are the join keys as a list. So if you want to join more than one key, you put comma, and then you can add another column name here if you have that. So here we only have one column common to join movie ID. So we just used movie ID. Okay. Now, so once I have this join df, now you guys tell me, what do you want to do with this? So I have all of these columns. Okay. What do you want to do?
So when you join two data frames, it brings columns in each data frame together.
Yes. You're selecting all, right? Now, let's say I don't want all the columns.
Again, you need to filter it by.
Yeah, now a filter, you can
Filter is for
or
maybe
you
for
can say
data.
select,
Okay.
right? Now dot select, again, you can give column names. In the list, what do I want? Movie ID, right? Comma, title, genres,
Rating.
okay. Just say we want rating. So we don't want user ID, who's doing user, or we don't want timestamp. So just these things.
Yeah.
And now if we run, okay, so we don't get any other columns.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's say this is title, right? Okay. Let's say I want to do this transformation. What transformation I'm doing now? So first, see here how I'm chaining all my transformations. First, I took the movies data frame, joined the ratings data frame on this column, right? Now, once I have done that, I want only few columns from there. So instead of, this is something like here, right? Instead of doing a select star, here, it's like I am doing selected columns, what I want. I just want movie ID and title. So, okay. Here there is an ambiguity because the same column is in both tables. So I just use movie ID from movie stamp. Okay. Similarly, you can also add the table name here as well, just to qualify from which table we are selecting this column. So same thing, what I am doing here in the transformations. The first one, I took a data frame, joined with second data frame on this ID, and then I'm selecting specific columns. Now, I don't want the column. So the column title, I just want to rename. So remember, when you want to say here in the SQL, how do you do? So when you say title, I can say as movie name. Simple, right? So now this column is renamed to movie name. So here you do the same thing. Which column you want to rename, and then what is the column name you want. I hope the syntax is correct. Yes. See, now with column renamed, you have renamed the column this to this. Okay. Now, what else you want to rename? You want to rename any other column, or this is good enough?
So Harun,
Yeah.
we can use anything, right, for transformation. Like we are using SQL also, right? So
Yes.
anything we can use to transform it.
Yeah, that's what. Right? There's just two different ways of doing it.
Okay.
Okay. There
So
are
we can't put all the same thing.
all the same thing. What?
No, the column renames. So you can put it in the same bracket, right? Or every time you need to put it that with column renamed.
For
For
each
example, if
column?
I want to,
Yeah. No. So yeah. So you can only do one column rename here.
okay.
I think so. See here, existing, new. That's all. There's no like list of columns that you can map one-on-one.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want one more column, you write another, chain it with one more time with column renamed, and then you do. Okay. So now let's say with column. Okay. So with column, I would say, so I want to add a new column. What do I want to add to this? Let's say,
Column name and index, not index.
so I want to add a new column, language. Okay. And then do this. It will fail because lit is not defined. So where is this? In which library is this? See, is it? It's not the SQL types. Let's check here. PySpark. So PySpark function, PySpark SQL dot functions. Okay. From PySpark SQL dot functions, import data. Okay. See, now I have added a new column called language to this table, and then I populated with one default string called English. Now you can also define this as, you can also calculate this column based on the existing columns. Okay. So if I want to say add or split two of these, this column name into two, you can split that or take substring. So we will do this later here when we add the new column. We want to split this, we will do that. Okay. But for now, are you guys clear how we are doing the transformations?
So what is lit doing here?
lit is just telling you as that it's a what you call fixed uh, or a constant. You can say constant data type of string. So take this string and just append to all the rows. Use this value to all the rows. You're not calculating any value for this column. It's a fixed value of string.
Oh, so
called English.
you are defaulting it to English, the
English,
language.
yes.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Okay. So let's do this. So are you guys clear about this transformations?
Yeah.
Yes, Arun. Yeah. One thing, Arun, so this is only inner join, right? So like that, we can make it as left outer join, right outer join, everything in the data frame.
Absolutely. So we'll talk about join types and join strategies later. How the joins happen under the hood. What are the so normally we are doing distributed data processing, right? So whatever you are seeing here, you have to imagine it is happening on multiple machines. All the data is not on one machine. So it is distributed onto multiple nodes, or what we call multiple machines. So when you join, data from different machines has to come together, right? So based on your join conditions and join strategies. So let's say your keys is what we call data skew. Okay. When you join, let's say you have employees, you're joining employee data with department data. Okay. And you have US and you have India. If most of your employees are in US, so some data is all skewed. When you join with the department, whatever machine is having the data with respect to department will have more data. Whatever machine that has data with respect to India or Europe will have less data. So all of that, they will do join strategies. But yes, you can do all joins that you do in the SQL, you can do here. You can do left join, you can do right join, you can do full join, you can do inner join, you can do cross join. Okay. So all of that is possible. Plus, Spark has implemented its own strategies, how to do the join. I mean, in the sense how it handles the data when you do a join, even if it is an inner join, based on which tables you are joining, the size of the tables and the size of the keys, there are different strategies it employs to join the data. That also we will discuss which of those different strategies and which one is better to use. How would you give a hint to the system to use that strategy instead of the default strategy? How it runtime, it collects the status, just like you do in SQL, you do plan, right? You do a physical plan, you do a virtual plan and all of that to determine which one is better to do the join. So same thing, everything is here.
Okay.
Okay. To summarize, yes, you can do all the joins, whatever are available in the SQL here.
So Harun, can we generate? Sorry, go ahead.
No, just repeating the one. So you said, Arun, so just like the query analyzer, what we do in the SQL loader or so the same way we can analyze the query and we can write accordingly. That means?
Yes, you can check what is the physical plan it generates. And then you can give hints which join that you have to use, you want the Spark to use. But most of the times, more than 99% of the times, Spark is intelligent enough. There are a lot of what you call AQ, adaptive query execution engine, that is runs behind, that will do optimize your joins. Even in the runtime, when the join is happening, when let's say there are joins and where clauses and filters and all that, it will automatically readjust the transformations so that the join is optimized. In very few cases, you have to intervene and give hints, but most of the time it will figure out. the optimized join. But yes, there is a way to look at the physical plan, how it is doing. And if you don't like what strategy it is using, you can always give a hint for it to override and use this join.
Where do you find that log, Arun?
We'll come to that. Not right now. I'll show you. It's not the time yet. Let's get to basics first. Then we will go deep into the internals.
Sure,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. We will definitely check that. Okay. So till now, are we good? Select, we have written join, we have written select, we have written column renamed, we have written added a new column, we have renamed a column. Okay. Now, any other questions? So let's check with Parimala, Ranjit. Are you guys following?
Yes, Harun.
Okay. Because
Can we do filter?
sorry, what
Can
was
we
that?
do filter on this joined DF, like to pull only the one
Yeah.
particular movie ID, like
Yeah.
pull movie
Absolutely.
ID
You can absolutely just
equals
do.
to 1.
Yes.
Okay.
You can just absolutely do it here. Filter.
If you want to pull subset of it, yeah. Let's say like movie ID equals to 1, something like that.
Yes. Move is df of movie ID equal to 1. Okay. Yep. Movie ID is.
Oh, I was expecting 1 row. Why?
Okay, you tell me why we are getting more rows.
Because join.
Right. See, basically the movie ID is 1, but if you look at data, you have to understand the data first. This is a very beautiful point here that we got. The movie ID is 1, but what is it saying about the ratings? The same movie ID is being rated by multiple users with different ratings.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right? So user ID 1 has given a rating. So for example, say I have, there's an Avatar movie. Okay. So movie ID is 1. Now for movie ID 1, I'm giving a rating. Venkat is giving a rating. Parimala is giving a rating. Ranjit is giving a rating. So 4 users are rating the movie Avatar with their ratings. So that is all here. This is a one-to-many relationship between parent and child. And the same user, so I have rated Avatar. I am also rating other movies. Okay. So I'm rating say the Guardians of Galaxy. I have rated it 4. Okay. Avengers, I have rated it 5. Avatar, I have rated it 4.5. So for one user, this table will have 3 rows because I have rated 3 movies. If I rate 10 movies, I will have 10 rows here. Now for one movie, if I take Avengers, let's say 100,000 people or 1,000,000 people have rated it. So I have million rows for that one movie. So that is why when you say filter movie ID 1, it's giving you, so for this movie ID, you have all of these ratings. Now,
215 people or no?
yeah, 215 rows. Okay. Now, why are this is if you say add one more column here when you are selecting, and then you say user ID, then you will know which user has rated this movie what. So then you will get the meaning. So now see here for the same movie, Toy Story, user ID 1 has rated 4, user ID 5 has rated 4, so on and so forth. There are 213 users that have rated.
Okay.
Given rating. So that is why when you filter by movie ID, you will get all of this. Now, if we don't filter by this and then say, where is the user ID 1? So you're changing the filter now. Oh, it's not from. So movies DF does not have user ID column, right? So you
We
have,
pull only certain columns.
yeah, you have to use the filter from ratings. This column, user is in the ratings data frame. See now, the same user ID 1 here. He has rated these many films. So Pulp Fiction, Star Wars is rated 5, Pulp Fiction he has rated 3, Forrest Gump is rated 4, something like this.
Maybe if you put that first filter also, it comes only one record, I think.
Yes.
Movie ID is equal to 1.
Yes. So let's say here.
No, you can take left out join or something. You can only one record you will get it instead of getting all the related to the rating and movies. I feel only one record will display.
Would the movie ID be in the quotes at the end?
Let's check this. No. What happened? What did we do? It's just a syntax, I think. Don't worry about that. To use, okay, just and for Boolean, just 1%. Let's see. But does not exist. That's okay. Don't worry about syntax. Let's see what is the syntax here. It is the same thing, right? df of this equal to this. Okay, let's see.
It has some double quotes here.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Double quotes, single quotes. Let's do this. And that's it. It's just a syntax. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So now you see, I want one user ID is 1 and movie ID is 1. Then you get one row. So this user, this movie, what is the rating?
If you want to use that equals to symbol, you need to use it twice. Is that the syntax?
Yeah. So here that is the syntax.
Okay.
That's why I said don't worry too much about the syntax. You can get help online. So if you go here, as I said, in the docs, in the data frame, you have all of this. The filter. What is the syntax? See here, they are using double quotes, single quotes, whatever, everything is same.
So Harun, generally, what is the industry most used? I mean, SQL or Spark?
It's again, as I said, right? It depends from project to project, enterprise to enterprise. There is no such hard rule that you have to only use SQL or you have to use PySpark.
No,
See,
not rule. Usually, because once you go project, so we
I
start.
have seen both
project.
actually. I have
So you
seen
see
both.
both. Okay.
Yeah. See, it's a decision you have to make. Once you get this data frame, what do you want to do with this? If you want to write it to a write it to a table, you just do using the PySpark, so that once you have a data frame, you can use dot write and everything. If you want to just do internal, if you want to write a complex SQL, joining 2 or 3 tables with multiple columns, group by, aggregate, all of that, you have a SQL. You just dump the SQL, get the data frame, and then again, that's why I said there's no good way or bad way. So both are same. So you run the SQL and you take this SQL data frame and convert it into PySpark data frame. So under the hood, it all the same thing. So there's no specific recommendation of one over the other.
Okay. So
Yeah.
with your comment, what I observe is that if you go for the Spark, because you said Spark itself, it gives the analyze and the query and it gives the performance better, right? So
Yeah.
instead of SQL.
Yeah. Spark. So when you do these strategies, right? See Spark join strategies. Yes, you can use that. There are some things that you can do with PySpark library, like if you want to do broadcast, you want to give broadcast some table, you can do that. So that's what I said. If you have simple transformations, if you not have a complex SQL that you want to join multiple tables and group by inner joins and subqueries and all of that, then you go for SQL. If you're just doing the filters and checking conditions and all of that, you can just do PySpark.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, both of them are same. Now let's say, so I have done this join with this and done filter and all of this, right? So now I can actually go and write this table. So what have we done? We have done the transformed layer, right? So we have transformed the data from bronze. We have read the raw data. There are 2 tables in the bronze that I am having. One is the movies data and the other one is the ratings data. In the silver, I am getting the join table from both. Let's say I have users and ratings. I joined both. I dropped columns where I don't need or selected only those where I need. And from there, I'm moving forward. So in the silver, I have enriched the data. I have renamed the columns. And then I have added a language called English. So we can also do that. So let's say I want to do also get, if you see here, the year is here in the within the movie name. So if I want to do, show me how many movies are released each year, right? So how do I get data from this? Because it is part of the string. So what I want to do is I want to split this. That is the transformation I want to do. Split this and get the year separately into a new column. Okay. So that is what we have to do. Let me see where I have that syntax just to, yeah. So we want to remove this filter here because we want more data. I just can I do this? Remove this filter.
Arun, I think it's better to keep that one and open a new cell, right? Because later if you publish these notes, yeah, it's useful for us.
Sure. But
Yep, thank you.
let's do this again. So I'll do a join again from the beginning. But this time without the additional column and the filters. Okay. It's not copy. Why is it copying the entire cell? Okay. No. From PySpark. So I have two functions. Okay, I don't need lit, right? So I'm not using that here. I can remove this. All right, that makes sense. So I've just again taken the same base movies DF, joined with this, select these columns, rename title to movie name. Now I'm adding another column here, just like what we did here, language, right? So we defaulted it to English. But here what I'm doing is I'm taking a column called release year, and I'm calculating from this substring of column title. Substring of column of title. So title has both the name and the year. Okay. So what I'm taking, how I'm taking title, how I'm taking substring minus -5. Remember when we discussed the Python class, we said you can traverse a string from or a list from start to end or from backwards. So when you do backwards, you use minus negative. So -5 is from here, the bracket becomes first character 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we will reach the start of the number year. From there, I am taking 4 characters 1, 2, 3, 4. So which means 1995. So every row, it will go take the title and calculate those 4 characters starting from the end. It will go move 5 characters to the left and then take 4 characters from there. So that's how you get the year. Are you clear how we are calculating the substring here?
Yeah. So although
Yes.
we are renaming the column from title to movie name, it's
Oh,
still
that's a good question, right? So that will work or it will not work.
Yeah.
So should we use the new name or the old one?
Yeah, that's the question I have.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, let's say if it is title, let's say we have not renamed it. Okay, let's not complicate this. We'll see that how it works. But let's think as title. Okay, and then see how we want to. But you know how all I wanted to make it clear is how we are calculating this substring, this new column with the substring, with the year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I have to get column. See, okay, title cannot be resolved. Okay. Tell me, what is your analysis? So it has already renamed it to movie name. You're right. So let's use movie name here instead of title. Awesome. So now I got my release year here. See? Okay. And we have not changed this. We have not removed this year from here. We can do that as well. We can just say with column this the first up to, from 0 to -5. You can take that string and then use as movie name. I will leave it to you to figure that out. Okay. And then you can also drop the column once. Oh, this is drop duplicates. Okay. Others should be drop column function. I remember. It's okay. Yeah. You can just select again and without that movie ID. Once you do all of this, and then you can remove that movie name new one and just have the string name instead of the year. But I'll leave that to you if you want to try that. But as of now, let's say this. Okay. So you
Does
have
that SQL string function in string works here?
substring.
So I know substring is there, but there is something called in string, right? Where you can find a particular character. So for movie name, if you want to get rid of the
yeah, I know. So you have to get index of that string that you're checking.
yeah, we have to get the location of that particular string and then get the first characters out of it.
You can check what is Python, it's basically Python. So whatever functions are available in Python, you can use here. So it should be there. Okay. You can go here, PySpark SQL functions and see what are all available. API functions. PySpark SQL functions. No, this is not this. So I think you should go Spark SQL functions. Yeah, you have lit, column, call, is null. You have substring, and then you have something this starts with. So you can just go check what all functions are available here to use. And trim, upper, decode, width. So there's a lot of library here that you can check what are functions are available to use. Okay. Then get length, can get the length function, trim function, all of those are available. Anyways, let's move forward. We have 10 more minutes. Okay. So now we have done this year. Now, once I have the year, I can do a filter on the year. But I am not displaying the latest data frame. So let's use latest, which is year greater than equal to 2000. Now you see all the movies are only greater than 2000, the where class. Now coming back, we want to do, so this is all you do and say, you can write this to your silver. You create a new database called, just like you did bronze, you create a database called silver, and then write this transformed data frame to silver. I mean, don't do this filter without this, just transform df, you write to silver. Now, the last one is gold. Gold is basically how you answer the business questions or data for business questions. Let's say, what are my top 5 rated movies? Okay. Or what are the number of movies that are released by year, each year? So these kind of aggregates questions that you answer in the gold layer. Okay. We'll just start with one. So now I have transformed df. Let's do here. I will use this transform df. Dot. Let us create a temp view. We call it, let's say, movie summary, or this final. Now, how do we write aggregates? We know, right? Select count star comma year. What do we have here? Release year from movies final group by release year. Okay. See here, now you get each year how many movies are released. Now the same thing you can do using the data frame as well. So what is the syntax? I think we have, let me get you. Yeah. So stop rated. Let's try this. We're doing this, right? Transform df only. Dot group by, we are doing release year count movie name alias, I'll just say movie count. So once we get this, we say movies count df equal to, and then display this. Aggregate How do we do this? Okay. Let me check the syntax, but well, so let's see here. So data frame. Transformation group by count. So use group by, and then where is this? Group by dot count. So let's try this. Yep, that's it. Just release here and count. Okay. So if you just check, there are a lot of you'll find different ways of doing the same thing. Okay, so you can do group by multiple columns and then do a count. So this is how you do SQL, right? So this is we already did. So basically that's the same thing. So these are some of other aggregation functions you use: average, sum, min, max, count, all of this. You can also do aggregate, average of. So if you want to do what is the average rating for a movie, multiple users have given the multiple users have done the ratings, right? So this is the exercise. What is the average rating for each movie? So so each movie we have seen, it has been rated by multiple users. Now, if you take average of all those ratings, so what is the average rating for movie? That is what we want to find out. So you guys go ahead and do figure out what is the average rating of a movie. How do we calculate that? Good.
Yeah.
Let's try this.
I missed one point.
Yeah.
From bronze to silver, what we did there, like I know we have a transformed data frame, but
Yeah,
you created a temp view and
yeah. So I just created a view. You can actually create a table. See here, this is the movie's final, right? So this is what we said is we have the user ID, we have the rating, we have the release year. Now you can just go here and say create database silver. And then what is this data frame?
transform.df, transform underscore.
Yeah, transform df, and then write it to silver layer dot write dot format delta
Dot mode.
Yeah, same thing. You just Right. Save as table. You write anything, say silver dot movies final. That's it. Then your table is in the silver layer. Okay. Now, whatever you are doing, these aggregates, this will go into gold.
So once the transformation is complete on the raw data in bronze, we all automatically consider it as silver.
Yes. So it is not, it's just logical separation.
Okay.
Bronze, you write as is. Whatever you read from the files from the source, you just write as is into the bronze layer.
Right.
Now, when you transform it, do any kind of all of these transformations, filters, add column, drop column, split columns, all of this you do, that is your processed or transformed data. You join, see, in the raw layer, you have two tables, movies and ratings. But silver, you have only one table, which is you have already joined, you renamed some columns, you derived some new columns here, right? And you did all of this transformation and you got one table in the silver, one table from two tables in the raw layer. Now you have consolidated to one table. So that you write to silver. Now my data in silver is consolidated, is joined with the two, whatever inner join when you do, if those movies without ratings, they are dropped. Okay. If there are any ratings and we don't have that movie name here, that is also dropped. Now, as you said, what is the case for me? Should I do inner join or outer join? Let's say I have a movie which I don't have ratings for. That is the case. I still want that movie, right? Even if I don't have any ratings. So then I do a left outer join, which means that I get, so we'll talk about what left outer, right outer, and all of that. But saying when you do left join, all the movies, even if there is no rating, we'll still get it. So that also we will do. And then we get the data in the silver. Now, when there is no data, what rating do you want to use? You don't want to put it null. So you want to default that to 0, right? So rating 0. So something like that, you can do transformation. You can add data. You can, fill, remove null values, replace with zeros, and all of that you do. And then you enriched and data with a better data quality, that you write it to the process data, you write it to silver. From silver, you do all of these kind of aggregations, and whatever data you get, this you write to your gold. Okay. That is what is used for further for the BI dashboards and all of that. So this is just an example. So I have given you this. You can try doing this. What is the average rating for each movie? Okay. And then we will look at it in our next class. If there are anything missing, we will cover in the next session and then move on to the next module. But you guys do more practice on this. Try to add more questions here. Try to answer more questions here. So this is actually the end goal is this. Okay. The business use case will come like this. The requirement will come like this. What is the average rating or so what is the average rating for, let's say you have a new movie. What is the latest movie? Let's say there is what is that latest movie that has come with the Avengers, two heroes? Guys, come on. Don't know the latest?
Endgame.
Let's use Kalki for now.
Yeah, I can use that. Yeah. Let's say, what is the average rating for Kalki? This is what the question would come. Just like this. From here, you have to work all the way back here. What data do I need to get to that point? So that is how you work backwards. You figure out what you need and then start from here. So if I want to do, say, Kalki, what are the source files do I have? So I have movies data, I have ratings data, and then I have other data. So do I have what I need in those tables? Is there a rating column, right? Now, the next question is, are the movies have values in the ratings column? Are all valid ratings or not? If it is a null, what do I need to do? If there is no rating, what do I need to do? So you get all of that information. Okay. That is your data profiling. First, you do the data profiling. Or is my data available? Or my attributes that I need to answer this question available? So what do I need? I need movie name. I need the ratings column. I need the user ID. And is the ratings and movies column, do I have a join strategy or join column, movie ID available in both the tables to join, right? And or is there data in all the columns that is needed? If there is no data, how do I do? So if the rating is null, do I add 0 or do I drop that row at all completely? So these questions you have to first answer. Then you take those two source files. Then you load into raw. Then you kind of process that, join the tables, do all those transformations, write to silver. Then you write your SQL to group by, and then get average rating for that movie, filter by where clause, and then or you just do everything for all movies. And finally, if you want to see Kalki, you just put a where clause on that. And when you do a group by each movie, so you get for each movie you get average rating. From that you can easily in the dashboard you can just select Kalki and then it will show whatever movie you select, it will show the average rating for that. So that is how typically you do end-to-end requirements for gathering to the final output. So it's not that we start with the source files. Okay, I'm getting 10 files, you take this and process. It's always, I mean, sometimes it is also there, but mostly you have to first start with what business question or what business problem am I solving? Okay, so what is the need? What is the question? What is it that I am providing value for? Okay, so like this, you'd say, for example, give me all customers in Dallas who have income greater than 200K and own Tesla. This is a question, right? Now, why am I using this? I want to do a campaign for these specific customers. Okay. Or for, say, a new, or say, who don't own a EV vehicle. Okay. Let's say this is a question. So why I'm doing this? I want to do a campaign for Tesla, for example, to these customers, target customers. I want to send, say, you sign up for a Model Y, the latest, before this end of December, we give you for this price or this discount or whatever. Now, how do I reach out to this audience? Let's say I have a customer data dump with their incomes and then with their current vehicles, what they drive and all of that. Now, to target this campaign, I need the list of customers. Which list of customers who have income? So this is all defined by business. I want to run the campaign for these specific set of customers, not everybody. So to get this data, now I have to work backwards and figure out. So where is all the customers dump? Where is the income? Is the income data available within the same files? Do we have their address? Is it by zip code or is it by city? If it is that this is just zip code, what zip codes do I need to consider for Dallas area? Right? And then what is their income? Is it just the income of the customer or is it the household income? If it is household income, how do I get that? How do I know what are all the customers or what are all the people who fall under the same household? Right? Do we have the data of what cars they drive? Is it one car if there are multiple cars? Let's say if it just says Honda, does it have, is it a Honda EV vehicle or is it just a Honda hybrid or is it a gas vehicle? When you say EV, do I need to consider hybrid also as EV or only gas as non-EV? Right? So all of these questions that you first answer or first you gather as requirements, put as questions, get clarifications, then check whether the data is available to answer those questions. Then you go back and start. Okay, now I need to get all this data. These are the files. This is where it is. Now I need to bring over this data here, run my transformations, run my profiling on this, then do the analysis, get this into Silver, then run this query and get the customers who satisfy this question. That is how the standard business use cases would be. In some generic cases, we understand, let's say I have a legacy SQL server. I just want to move all my data onto the Databricks platform. Then you don't need to go from here, business case. Your business case is to get all the data onto the platform. So in that case, what you need to do, you need to identify what objects I want to move, what is the volume of the data I want to move, what is the data profiling, are there null columns or is there data that I don't want to move, is there a data, how much historical data do I need? It may be 30-40 years of data. Do you need all of that to bring it into this? Is there a PI data, sensitive data like date of birth or SSN? Do I need to bring all of that data or how do I handle that data? So those are different types of questions you ask in that scenario. But here, this kind of business use cases, you have to ask different questions to run the pipelines. Hope I have clarified.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys try for any movie or for example, all the movies. What is the average rating for each movie? Okay. Try this. And then you have a week. Next week when we come back, whoever has done can do a demo or show how you have done this, answered this question. Okay. I will publish this notebook as well as the recording by end of day today. All right. So before we wrap this up, questions, comments, concerns, how are we doing? Are we doing, the pace is good? The style or the explanation or the approach, is it okay? Or you're seeing any gaps? You want to fix any gaps? Please let me know.
So what you used here, all these functions in the temp view level, and also you written on the silver table and gold table also, right? Gold table separately in the next class.
No, there is no next class. It's the same thing. So you just create another database called Gold.
Gold, yeah, that is okay.
Then take this movies count DF and then write it. That's it.
Okay.
You can.
Yeah, why? Because in the I did not see like temp view tables here or the previous.
No, temp view you don't write. So temp view is only within the notebook.
Yeah, that is
You want
Yeah,
to
memory level, you are
in
extracting the
memory.
data.
Yes, you want to
Yeah.
check. Once you close the notebook, that is gone.
Okay.
Okay. Once that, so there are different um, levels of memory. Just like in other programs, you have, local, package level, global level, right? Same thing. You will have something which is available within this notebook, something which is available in the child notebooks where you call from this notebook, something that is available to people who are using the same cluster. If it within the team, if somebody else is using same cluster compute, they will also be able to access that view, that is global view. But that's not recommended because you are doing some changes, they are using that and doing some change, you're changing the data, overwriting the data, something, and then they are using that. It is not good. But normally you just use it, local to this only, the temp views. But when you want persist, you just write it dot write to the database.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Any other questions, concerns, comments? I didn't hear from people how we are doing. Are you guys okay with how we are doing? You are seeing gaps. You want to address any gaps? Ranjit, Sai, Kavuri, Shanmuga, Vikas.
I'm good,
I'm
Harun.
good on my side, Harun. I'm understanding like the flow and everything.
Okay.
And also the documentation that you've been showing, the syntaxes and everything, that's on the our worksheet, right? The links.
No, documentation links are not there. You can just go. I pinged you in
Just
the
Google it.
Zoom chat. Yeah, just Google it and go to this, Apache Spark, and then there'll be documentation here, user guide, getting started. So all of this, quick start data frame, just you can get from there. There's a lot of documentation. Just go to Apache Spark and then documentation. You will get everything.
And also there was another website that you are looking at for some syntax.
No, that's just Google. This one you're talking about, Spark by example. So just Google whatever comes.
Myexamples.com. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just Google that, anything, or you can just ask ChatGPT also.
Okay.
You can do that as well. Okay. Parimala, Ranjit. Oh, Ranjit has already said okay, he's fine. Murali, Parimala.
So, Arun, I have one question. So earlier you said nowadays people are using the Parquet files, right? So that format, everything is different, right? And the process also will be different, or how we can read that file and do these transformations and everything.
Okay, so Parquet file is basically Parquet file is a machine readable format. Okay, when you are saving this to database, internally it writes as a Parquet file. Okay, but when you read, it will read and give you the data. Encryption and decryption, it will automatically do. Okay, normally you don't get the even if you have a Parquet file, you will directly read it in the in the data frame. So once you read it, it's the same thing. So in the Parquet file, you don't have to do any schema. You don't have to do any of the header and all of that. Everything will be already there in the Parquet file. You just read it from the Parquet file. So we will also I will also try to see if we can have some of the examples where we can read Parquet files. JSON files we will definitely do, but Parquet we can just check what we have here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what before we so just remind me in the next session, we will go and see how this data, whenever you are saving here, how is it getting stored in the database. I wanted to we'll cover it when we do the delta anyways, so it's okay. When we do the delta format, Databricks delta, we will show how the files are stored, how it is, how the log is written, transaction log, how it manages and everything. We will check there. Okay, any other questions? We are 20 minutes over. Okay, all right. Thank you. Have a good day. Practice and then do let me know if you have any questions. We'll address in the next sessions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank
Thank you.
you.